Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 7 o'clock main news. In tonight's headlines, His Highness the Emir offers condolences to the custodian of the two holy mosques on the demise of Prince Saud bin Sultan bin Saud bin Abdullah Al Saud. Israeli naval forces shoot dead a Palestinian fisherman off the coast of the Gaza Strip. One person is killed and 9 are wounded in bomb blasts in Egypt's Mediterranean city of Alexandria. And Iraqi troops battle to advance in towns on the edge of Tikrit. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah received today at Bayan Palace His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah. His Highness the Emir also received today the National Assembly Speaker Marzouk Ali Al Ghanem. His Highness the Emir then received His Highness Sheikh Jaber Al Mbarak Al Hamad Al Sabah, the Prime Minister. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah later received the First Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs Sheikh Sabah Al Khalid Al Hamad Al Sabah. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah today sent a cable of condolences to the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, on the demise of Prince Saud bin Sultan bin Saud bin Abdullah Al Saud. In the cable, His Highness the Emir expressed his heartfelt sympathy to the Saudi monarch, praying to Almighty Allah to bestow His mercy upon the deceased and grant the Saudi royal family patience and solace. His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah today sent a cable of condolences to the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, on the demise of Prince Saud bin Sultan bin Saud bin Abdullah Al Saud. His Highness Sheikh Jaber Al Mbarak Al Hamad Al Sabah, the Prime Minister, also sent a similar cable of condolences. His Highness the Emir and Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah will patronise the graduation of the 19th batch of university graduate officers and the 42nd group of commissioned officers at Ali Al Sabah Military Academy tomorrow morning. His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah received today at Bayan Palace the Speaker of the National Assembly Marzouk Ali Al Ghanem. His Highness the Crown Prince then received His Highness Sheikh Jaber Al Mbarak Al Hamad Al Sabah, the Prime Minister. His Highness the Crown Prince also received the First Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs Sheikh Sabah Al Khalid Al Hamad Al Sabah. His Highness the Crown Prince then received the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Interior Sheikh Mohammed Al Khalid Al Hamad Al Sabah. His Highness the Crown Prince also received the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Defence Sheikh Khalid Al Jarrah Al Sabah. The First Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sheikh Sabah Al Khalid Al Hamad Al Sabah received this morning the new Australian Ambassador to Kuwait, Warren Hawke, who presented him a copy of his credentials. The presentation was attended by the Director of the Foreign Minister's Office, Ambassador Sheikh Dr. Ahmed Nasser Al Mohammed Al Sabah, and the Director of the Protocol Department, Ambassador Dhari Al Ajran. Sheikh Sabah Al Hamad Al Sabah received this morning the new Thai ambassador to Kuwait, who presented him a copy of his credentials. The presentation ceremony was attended by the Director of the Foreign Minister's Office, Ambassador Sheikh Ahmed Nasser Mohammed Al Sabah, and the Director of the Protocol Department, Ambassador Vari Al Ajran. The First Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sheikh Sabah Al Hamad Al Sabah received this morning the Cambodian ambassador on the occasion of ending his tenure in Kuwait. The meeting was attended by the Director of the Foreign Minister's Office, Ambassador Sheikh Ahmed Nasser Mohammed Al Sabah, and the Director of the Protocol Department, Ambassador Vari Al Ajran. The First Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister also received this morning the Ambassador of Jamaica to the State of Kuwait, Audley Rodriguez, on the occasion of the end of his tenure in Kuwait. The meeting was attended by the Director of the Foreign Minister's Office, Ambassador Sheikh Ahmed Nasser Mohammed Al Sabah, and the Director of the Protocol Department, Ambassador Vari Al Ajran. The Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives in the Kingdom of Morocco, Abdul Latif Wahbi, and his accompanying delegation began an official visit to the country this afternoon. He was received upon his arrival at the airport by the Deputy Speaker Mbarak Ibn Al Khrenij, the Head of the Mission of Honour MP Dr. Mohammed Hadi Al-Hwela, the Moroccan Embassy Chargé d'Affaires Al Mahdi Al Rami, and the National Assembly Assistant Secretary General Sami Shayer. The Deputy Speaker of the Moroccan Parliament will hold talks during his visit with the National Assembly Speaker Marzouk Al Ghanem and the Deputy Speaker on ways of fostering joint cooperation between the two countries, especially in parliamentary activities. Mr. Wahbi is also set to meet with His Highness Sheikh Jabir Mbarak Al Hamad Al Sabah, the Prime Minister. Israeli naval boats opened gunfire on Saturday on Palestinian fishermen offshore Al Sudaniya to the northwest of Gaza, killing one and detaining two others. More with Majd Al Wahedi in the following report.
Fire on boats off the coast of the Gaza Strip on Saturday. A Gaza Health Ministry spokesman said that one Palestinian fisherman has died of injuries sustained as a result. Also, two other fishermen were arrested and taken to Israel after their boats were confiscated.
What happened yesterday left one fisherman dead and two others arrested. Almost every day, the Israeli occupation attacks us and opens fire at our boats. Since August 2014, we have witnessed 455 violations, which led to the arrest of more than 50 fishermen and confiscation of tens of boats.
An Israeli military spokeswoman said 4 vessels had strayed from the fishing zone and that the Israeli army opened fire after the boats did not respond to the warning shots. However, no comment on casualties was provided. Human rights organizations expressed their deep concern and said what happened is a clear violation of human rights.
The Israeli occupation authorities continue to attack fishermen. They also impose a suffocating siege and tight restrictions over land and sea. The international community has to consider what Israel is doing against civilians and force its government to commit to the international treaties and humanitarian laws.
Under the ceasefire agreement, Israel said it would expand the fishing zone and allow fishermen to sail as far as 6 nautical miles from shore. However, Israel has failed to do so. Today is a sad day for all fishermen who suspended the work for 3 days in a protest of yesterday's incident and Israel's policies against them. Thousands of fishermen depend on their work as the main source of income. Most of them live under the poverty line. This means that when Israel attacks these people, it doesn't only bring suffering to them and their families, but also to an entire population which has a frozen economy due to siege and destruction. Majd Al Wahedi, Kuwait TV, Gaza.
2 bombs exploded today in Egypt's Mediterranean city of Alexandria, one outside a supermarket and another near a police station, killing 1 person and wounding at least 9. The blasts are the latest in a bombing campaign blamed on militants who are targeting foreign and local economic and financial establishments. The campaign seems designed to undermine confidence in Egypt ahead of a major 3-day economic conference scheduled to open on Friday in the Red Sea resort of Sharm el-Sheikh, as Egypt plans to announce projects worth up to $35 billion during the conference. Egypt has been grappling with a growing insurgency in the strategic Sinai Peninsula for years, but attacks there against army and police forces have dramatically increased since the removal of the former President Mohamed Morsi and later spread to the mainland. Yemen's Defence Minister Mahmoud al-Subaihi arrived today in Aden after escaping the rebel-held capital Sana'a. Houthis stormed al-Subaihi's house in Sana'a after hearing the news of his flight, but found only several guards there. Officials said Houthis ambushed a group of al-Subaihi's bodyguards in Al-Khoha area in Hodeidah province while they were on their way to Aden. Al-Subaihi is expected later on Sunday to join President Abdurrabbu Mansour Hadi in Aden. Fierce fighting continues on the outskirts of the Iraqi city of Tikrit as government forces and militiamen press on to retake the strategic city from the so-called Islamic State militants. Security forces said progress has been slow as the so-called Islamic State militants is putting up a strong resistance. Officials said a plan will be put in place to help families return home. But for now, civilians want the army's assistance in fleeing. Meanwhile, teams are searching for bombs that may have been left behind by the so-called Islamic State militants. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry addressed the developing accord with Iran over its nuclear program, saying while progress has been made in talks between the country and 6 world powers, there are gaps that have to be closed.
If we didn't think that there was further to go, as Laurent said, we'd have had an agreement already. The reason we don't have an agreement is we believe there are gaps that have to be closed. There are things that have to be done to further strengthen this. We know this.
The US and France, along with Britain, China, Germany and Russia, are negotiating with Iran to limit its nuclear program in exchange for an end to sanctions against the country. Iran wants the sanctions dropped immediately, while the 6 powers back a phased-out process. Nuclear negotiations between the United States and Iran are to pick up again on March 15th after 3 days of recent talks in Switzerland. A rocket attack on a United Nations base in northern Mali killed a peacekeeper and 2 civilians. The UN mission said the peacekeeper died when about 30 rockets struck the base in the desert town of Kidal. Some rockets missed their target, killing the civilians. No group claimed responsibility for the attack. Meanwhile, an al-Qaeda-linked group said it carried out an attack in the capital, which killed 5 people yesterday. The State of Kuwait shares other nations of the globe in celebrations of International Women's Day, renewing appreciation for the female citizens' contributions and accomplishments on the path of Kuwait's progress and development. International Women's Day, which coincides on March 8th every year, is a global day celebrating the economic, political and social achievements of women, past, present and future. Hiba Abdurrahman has more details in the following report.
In preparing for the International Women's Day, Arab and International Female Engineers Committees organized their preparatory meeting 1 day before the launch of the International Women's Day Summit. The annual occasion constitutes an opportunity to renew condemnation of domestic violence, work inequality, and male dominance in third world nations, including the Arab countries.
Well, we've been participating with WFEO, which is the World Federation of Engineering Organizations, and the Women in Engineering Committee for a little over 10 years. So really what we're working on is we have women gathered here from all over the world, and we're talking about how we can help advance women, empower them in the workplace. We all come from engineering and technology backgrounds, so it's really helping women build their networks and get the skills they need to be successful. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, what each of us brings from our own countries that we can share.
Today we are having this International Women's Day, so I'm representing Singapore, and we're coming here to let the Kuwaiti people know what we have done in Singapore and the equal opportunities that we have given to Singapore.
Kuwait has been observing the International Day since its adoption by the United Nations in 1975, that is for being eligible for such participation. Kuwaiti women have been contributing to the society development effectively since pre-oil times, when housewives used to bear the brunt of family responsibilities in absence of husbands who would go away on long-time sea journeys either for paradiving or trade.
According to me, as engineers, we have a committee. This is Arab Women's, Engineering Arab Women's. So we have to introduce ourselves to other women during this day. And we hope to be useful for all women. And let me say, it's a special day for every woman all around the world, and especially for Arab women. And it's a pleasure for me to be in Kuwait, and I'm proud of such a Kuwait woman. And thank you for this event.
Kuwaiti women have successfully launched the enterprise in addition to diverse accomplishments such as occupation of senior posts in the administrations. However, they should exert greater effort and seek a more effective role in various sectors. Preparing for the big 2 days, the Arab and International Women Committees held their first meeting today, discussing and setting the scene for the summit's agenda with the participation of many Arab and international engineers. From Marina Hotel, I'm Heba Abdurrahman reporting for English News.
Therapy. The second annual Alwan Festival recently took place at Marina with the participation of artists specializing in a variety of art forms. Alwan, the Arabic word for color, featured live art, kids' art area, a market and a music stage. The festival seeks to highlight and promote the vast venues that art excludes in, with the intent to expand rigid definitions of what is artistic. Our reporter Badriya Saleh brings us the story.
Thanks to the success of the first edition, Visual Therapy brought back Alwan, Kuwait's first live art festival, held at Marina Crescent March 6th. The open-air festival featured an array of programs and activities that took place throughout the Crescent, with happenings for both adults and children.
Art is really, really important to share with the community because it's a form of expression, and it's a form of beautification. I mean, you know, it's aesthetics, it's visuals, and those are beautiful ways we can communicate, or you can communicate messages and meanings to the audience without literally having to say it, you know? So this is what I love and this is what I support, and yeah, all these young artists today at Alwan, those are what matter to me because those are the future of Kuwait. Those are the future artists of Kuwait. So if we nurture them from now and kind of work with them and stay with them, then you'll, in the end, I'm sure we can have a pretty happening art scene here in Kuwait.
Alwan is an annual celebration of public art and creativity, with live musicians, a creative souk, kids' art area, as well as the live artists. The event seeks to inspire Kuwait's youth and connect the community by promoting public awareness of art and culture. A main highlight is the live art, as suggested by the title. Live art is when an artist chooses to make work directly in front of the audience, an art form that comes into being at the concrete moment of encounter between the artist and the observer.
Pretty amazing because I think that here is something like it's pretty new, so everybody's like enthusiastic, everybody asking you about why you painting or what do you use, so it's like, yeah, for me it's awesome, you know, because there everybody's doing a lot of stuff on the street, so yeah, most of the people, they know already what it is, and yeah, they don't care too much, but here everybody is really into it.
I think Kuwait needs a bit more art. It's need a bit more color, and this is fun going out and, you know, doing something different instead of just like staying in your room drawing. It's just fun to like sort of bring it out every now and then.
This year, the festival highlights some local favorites, as well as a few international artists, all gathered to expand Kuwait's exposure and definition of what is art.
The Alwan Festival hopes to be an integral part for many years to come in Kuwait's ever-evolving art scene. At the Marina Crescent, I'm Badriya Saleh reporting for The Week in 30 Minutes.
Thanks to the success of the first edition,
the Kuwait Stock Exchange ended today's session in the red zone as the price index dropped by 25.39 points. The weighted index dropped by 5.53 points and the KSX 15 index closed down by 19.31 points. Number of trades amounted to 3,074 transactions worth 14 million Kuwaiti dinars, with 82 million shares changing hands. For a chance to see our reports again, please visit our YouTube channel at MOI Kuwait News. And to recap tonight's news, here are the headlines once again. His Highness the Emir offers condolences to the custodian of the two holy mosques on the demise of Prince Saud bin Sultan bin Saud bin Abdullah Al Saud. Israeli naval forces shoot dead a Palestinian fisherman off the coast of the Gaza Strip. One person is killed and 9 are wounded in bomb blast in Egypt's Mediterranean city of Alexandria. And Iraqi troops battle to advance in towns on the edge of Tikrit. Thank you for joining us.